Or intro.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, Leo?
Yeah.
We're on, MJ.
He says happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Hey, welcome to Splash Pages. We're going to be having an awesome show, and this is your intro. Here we go.
Is the one obvious thing.
What's wrong with him?
His girl just broke it off.
It's her father. He doesn't want her dating a zombie.
Why? What are they, demons?
She is predeceased.
An outsider?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're asking for trouble.
She broke my heart.
You're a zombie. Technically, you don't even have a heart.
After all of the great cinema that we brought to the world, and we still get no respect.
I don't know why he doesn't like me. I'm responsible. A full-time job.
You work at a haunted house in October.
I'm trying to be healthy. She's a vegan, so...
Wait, you're giving up meat?
Oh, come on.
What are you gonna do? Attack a farmer's market to try to impress her?
Now, if he was a vampire, you'd have a much better chance with her death.
Yeah, those pretty bastards.
I didn't think this would be that hard.
Hard? Man, I'm a zombie and I'm black.
Here we go.
I blame the educational system.
I blame the media.
I blame George Romero.
Oh. How could you be so disrespectful?
Coffee?
Zombies don't know much, but they do know good coffee. Deadly Grounds. It's coffee to die for, and zombie approved.
Who's George Romero?
Just have some coffee.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. You are watching Splash Pages. My name is Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. We have an amazing show scheduled for you as always, and kicking it on off. How is it going, Carrie?
Hey, it's going all right tonight, Leo. How are you doing? Everybody, mind the new layout. It's kind of, we're working on it. Hey, Dylan, glad to see you. Have an exciting guest on tonight. I've had him on recently, but it's always great to see him. Let's go over and see how MJ's doing.
MJ.
Hi, guys. Hey, guys. Good to be back. Really looking forward. As always, I know what you said, but it's really good to be back, especially after Crazy Terrificon. So kicking on to Drew. Maybe?
Hello.
Are we on? Are we back? Hi. Hello there. Welcome back to Splash Pages. It's been a minute. I'm glad to be here again, and we're glad that you're with us too. You could be anywhere else, but you chose us. We thank you for it, and we'll definitely make sure to remember that when we renew your subscription. But we have a fantastic guest here as always. He's an award-winning creator. You've seen a bunch of his things, Itty Bitty Hellboy, Tiny Titans, Archomaniacs, a ton of creator-owned projects. Some, if you want, check out that our lovely Carrie has checked out. He's hilarious. He's good-humored. I own way more art of his on my art wall than any other person I know. The one, the only, the forever still a teacher in my mind, Mr. Franco.
Whoa!
Yay!
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Welcome back.
I'm wondering if I should charge you for rental space for all that artwork you got up there.
You should. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, we did have that tradition. We just kept seeing Franco at cons, and me and my group, we were like, it's not an official cosplay unless you have a drawing by Franco for it. So, and I'm just looking at it right now, and I'm like, good times, man. Good times.
Did you say drawing by Franco?
Like one of those.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
But cheerier and simpler and less terrifying. But Franco's like that, man. He's got dimensions.
He does.
3-dimensional.
I love
it. But first things first, it's always good seeing you at Terrific Con, Sarah. And again, it's always nice to give you a gift. But I don't know. I think Carrie takes the cake for the gift this year, because how much do you get a little version of yourself?
Yeah, that was an awesome surprise, and I didn't think about it beforehand because I could have displayed it behind me, but it's over on my other desk. I have a couple of different desks here in my studio, so it's
guys. This is what I'm talking about. I need to get on that level of successful where I can have more than one desk. Can have a work desk, a show desk.
Yeah.
A storage desk. Like I gotta, Leo. I have one desk. I gotta get on 3 or 4 desk life.
The more desks you have, I'm speaking for experience, the more you can't find anything. So I don't.
Oh, right.
I don't
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is Mo desks, Mo chaos. Okay, got it. All right, cool.
Yes, I'm a cosplayer. The more tables I get, the more chaos it gets.
Okay, that's fair, MJ. All right, Leo, can we actually document, Leo? Can we show the photo of Franco and Franco? Sounds like a law firm.
I'm going to start one now with the custom action Migo.
Right? Look at that. So serious. Like literally, I think that's Carrie. I mean, right there. That's your ad right there.
I loved it, and it came with a change of an outfit change, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to make sure if you felt more lighthearted, you could throw on some purple, be happy,
It was a job well done, and I'm very honored to have received one. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I do my best. I try to come up with things for people, and it's not always like maybe exactly their thing, but I was hoping with this, like, the person, I was so happy that it turned out as well as it did, because the guy who did the custom painting was really worried about the hair. And so I sent him that picture, and he was like, oh God, I agonized over that. And I was like, you did it.
And I know because you then you agony is transferable, because then I would talk to you, Carrie, and you would, do you think he's going to like it? She was like, Franco is one of the easiest, most good-humored people. He's going to hate it. He's going to absolutely he's like, I'm never coming back on your show. And Carrie, for a second, you give that like, really? I'm like, no, he's going to love it.
Yeah, I do love it, and people do agonize over the way I look, so it's not it's not I went to a show once, and a little girl came up, and I don't know if you've ever been to my website, but I use a very specific logo. It's kind of this one. It's the one in yellow here, but
right.
It's painted differently, and that was done like 20 years ago. So that's up on my banner too. And the little girl came up to me and said, was that supposed to be you?" And I'm like, well, yeah, it is. And she goes, false advertising. You have a lot more gray hair. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is my reminder to update my my logo, but I probably won't do it. So.
It's okay. You got a little bit more Mr. Fantastic going. It's fine, Franco.
Oh, I got one.
Listen, you can ask these three knuckleheads every time I show them my ID, because the DMV still hasn't changed my photo. It's me at 18, and all I get is wow. I'm like, yes, the amount of wows makes me feel so good. I think it's 4 and above, and I'm like, okay, genetics are a lottery.
You're still the baby of the group. So
I know I'm still the baby of the group, but I just when I show that photo, I'm like, man, this guy about to audition for Grease 2. Let's go.
He's the baby of the group. I'm the one who gets like angrily carded. Like,
yeah, you do get aggressively like people.
Me
like,
too. Same.
Yeah,
Same.
people like, hey, take off that hat. Let me see. I'm like, whoa, sir. She's clearly,
I'm out with my mom at casinos,
Same.
and like one we were staying at, and this guy, like, they're letting people through. I just walk through with my mom. He's like, "Wait, get back here!" Like, it wasn't one of those like flattery type of things.
No, it's business.
Yeah,
it was like he had people in line. And he's like, "Get to the back. You're getting carded." Like, and I'm like, "I'm fucking 50 years old." Thanks, but wow.
Same. I have grandkids and everything. Last time they that's your daughter. No, that's my granddaughter. Your daughter? No, my granddaughter.
Again, MJ, I've said this once. I'll say this again. Genetics is a lottery, and you're doing great.
Yeah. But my thing, they never believe my name is actually my name. That's my biggest one. So,
Oh, it's okay. You should just make up names and just see who
you
gotta listen, MJ. When dealing with dumb people, you gotta you gotta up the level of fuckery. You gotta just be like, and then what you also do is like, no, this is just I put this on. This is a character, and then you just change your tone and be like, yes, my name is Long J Walker. Deep voice, and then just walk.
I'm hoping that we're making you feel at home here. Like, if it was a Star Trek show, when we just all kind of talk over each other and randomly just do whatever the fuck. Only we say fuck a lot more than you're allowed to on John. So.
But
yes,
but no, we're allowed to. We just
yeah, it's true. But so Franco, like again, I saw some posts, but again, we post a lot of the things that happened yesterday. Were there any big moments for you at Terrificon this year?
No.
Okay, good.
No,
good interview, buddy.
Yeah, end of interview. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Well, okay.
The shortest one ever. Under 15. How you doing?
Yeah, it was a great Terrificon. Like, from seeing all my friends and all the fans that came up and everything. But got to talk to a bunch of people. Few among them, Priscilla Presley, which kind of blew my mind. Which was,
oh my god, yeah. She nodded at us, and I was just like,
yes.
I got a thumbs up from her.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, me too. I was walking by Rogan. She points, and I waved, and she's like.
Sunday, as she was leaving, I was waving at her, and
she smiled, and I was like, she looks great. Like,
yeah, she's fantastic. She's like,
wait. Step back up.
Oh,
I'm not 175.
I'm 666. So
700 apparently.
Damn.
I'm 700 years old.
Yeah, it's okay, Grant. Listen. It's all right, Grandmaster Franco.
So yeah, I got to speak to her for like a good 20 minutes or so.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I got to talk to her about Elvis and about Liam Neeson and Ricardo Montalban and
Ricardo Montalban
that I enjoyed, and then got to meet Leah Thompson. She was very sweet, and
oh my god, yes,
she was lovely. She was
just amazing to talk to, and wanted to reimburse me for the picture I bought because she found out kind of what I do, and I wound up giving her some comics for her grandkid.
Aww.
And she thought that was very sweet and wanted to reimburse me. And I'm like, no. I got to talk to her for a good few minutes, and a couple other people, Dietrich Bader, who I'd spoken to before, because he had done the voice of the Bat Hound in the Super Pets cartoons that we did for Christmas.
Okay.
So got to talk to him a little bit, and Charisma Carpenter, who I will have a forever crush on because I met her years ago in Seattle, and we shared like a midnight limo ride from the airport to the hotel, and
what?
It was like an hour long, and we got to talk about a whole bunch of things. So that was a lot of fun. And she remembered me, so that was fun.
Franco, I have Buffy friends who would be extremely. They would give their they would stake all the vampires just to do exactly what you just did. So that's amazing. So.
Yeah, it was unexpected, and it was fun. It was one of the most fun limo rides I've ever had. Second down to the day I got married. I think it was in a limo.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I think I just what I love about TrivaCon, like you don't feel like the pressure. Like if you want to wait in line and just like meet the person, it's totally cool. And they're very understanding about it versus I feel like some conventions, they're like, are you paying? No, get the fuck out. I'm like, no, come on, man. I want to meet this person. Like I stood in line to meet Diedrich Bader, and he was the nicest person. I already met him years ago at I think Kineticon. And he's so nice, but he's so fucking funny.
He's great. Yeah, he's great. And the fact that he voiced the Bat Hound, that he spoke the words that I wrote, which kind of blew my mind, the first time I met him. So it was cool to kind of reconnect with him and talk about that a little bit.
And it's funny because I recorded because we record the panels, and I recorded his panel, and I got to ask this question. And it was later on, I was because we were switching to gear. I moved over just to Leo, and he was walking past me, and he was like, he liked my question. He was like, "Thank you so much. That was a really good question." And I'm like, "Oh my God, thank you for acknowledging me." Like he's so enthusiastically like good. Like it blows your mind.
Genuinely happy to be there, because sometimes you meet some of these celebrities and they can't wait to get out of there.
Yeah, they look grumpy.
But he's genuinely happy to be there and enthusiastic in like everything he does. So that's a great trait.
I think like for me, like I only got to meet 2 celebrities that week. It was like a tie between him and Patrick Warburton, who like
that was great.
Oh my God, getting to meet him. I just wanted to just getting to meet him. I think my Crunk impression got even better. Like just being around him, like I got to tell him about how my friends had me memorize his meme, and I recited it to him, and he was like, "That's pretty good. It's pretty damn good." Yeah, got a good one.
The Emperor's New Groove is one of my favorite movies.
I literally was telling someone the story, and they're like, "I think that's your best impression," and I'm like, "It's literally the best because it brings everybody like I don't get me wrong, the late Eartha Kitt, David Spade, everybody in it is great, but Crunk in my mind steals the show because he's just so funny, and it's just honest funny, and he's supposed to be the henchman, but he's not really a bad guy. He's just kind of he's there for the gig, but he's a lovable idiot. Right. And it's just the best because you're like, I'm rooting for you, guy.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm switching these two so we don't keep covering up Franco whenever we put up a comment.
Oh, okay. That's fair. But no, he was the best. And he's just there in shirt and mustache. And I was like, damn.
That was an impressive mustache he had, too. Because, I got him, so it was fun.
Yeah, but it was wonderful. I wish I could go around meeting everybody and just being like, I love you in this. I love you in that. Like, it was just the best. So, all the Peacemaker people.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you a big highlight of TrivaCon. I got to hug Franco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not the hugging type either.
He really isn't. It took me at least a year to be able to fist bump him. I got finger guns the first time I met him. He was like, hey.
And I appreciate
now that we've done that a few times, I'm thinking of cutting out the fist bumps with you too.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Oh. I mean, listen, you just got to let me know what the price of the membership is. For the oh yeah circle. And it's even funnier because Mark. I remember the first day we're just setting up the booth, and Mark just walks over and he hands me the statue of the Thanos head. He just puts it on our table, and they're like, no one's going to believe that I did that. He's like, they're going to yell at you. And he just walks away. And I was just like, my first thing to take a photo of it. And someone's like, hey, put that back over there. I'm like, God damn it, Mark.
Yeah. Mitch is going to get mad.
Yeah, that's what he said. Mitch is going to get mad. Shh. And I'm like, I was like, that's Thanos' head at my feet. I'm like, and I didn't do a thing. The alternate ending of Infinity of Endgame.
Drew, who did that?
No, this Mark Hemmon. He works with Franco and the gang over in Harrison. He's probably one of the raddest people ever.
He's cool.
He's cool pretty rad. He's pretty cool. And you want to talk great stories. Mark has some phenomenal stories. Like always a good story with Mark Hemmon. But I will also just say, Franco, again, like I love going to events at the Oh Yeah shop. It's always the best. And it's just, yeah, you guys always have great guests. They're so approachable, the good flow. I mean, God, I remember just supervising the store back when I used to live around there, and it was just the coolest.
Oh, well, yeah, we left you in charge once or twice, right?
Yes, you did. And the store was still standing after a few hours.
But then we never did it again.
No. After a while, I had to hand back the key that had the little She-Hulk keychain, and I was like,
we had to pry it out of your hands.
Yeah, it definitely felt. I mentally had taps. MJ, I had taps going in my head as I was like, burr, 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 burr. It was very sad. It was like the passing of the palm that they don't want.
How much did you lose that day, Franco?
Yeah, we don't like to talk about.
We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it.
So give it the Bruno treatment. Got it.
Yeah.
Took over. Yeah.
But TraferCon again. There's a reason. That's our show. It never fails to be a great time. But what do you guys do because we just go back to Leo's and we just get like food and we just sit and talk about the day. So do you guys go out? Do you go to the casino?
When the show's over or at the end of the day? When the show's over, we pile in the car and go home because it's been a long weekend. Those things get pretty tiring. If you guys know, you're running around all over the place, so it's a tiring show. And I'm glad that most shows are only 3 days. There's a couple that are 4 and 5 days, and those are really exhausting. But it's a constant, barrage of talking to people, drawing stuff, selling stuff. So it kind of wipes you out. So yeah, by Sunday we're just ready to just leave.
What about end of the days?
End of the days is usually getting food and getting it with people that you're hanging out with at the show or that you haven't seen. And it's a bunch of people that either I haven't seen for a while or you wind up seeing them in different cities. So after a while, you can't remember which show this thing happened or that thing happened at, because I think we're in Chicago, or I don't know, it might have been New York or something like that. So it's just catching up with them because we don't really get to talk in between shows unless we're working on something or just trying to catch up and get on a link like this where we're talking or whatever. But that's where we catch up is at shows and just laugh and have some fun and drinks and some good meals and share some time together.
I think that's sometimes the best. Like I remember when I was at San Diego this year, I think it was like my last day. I was at this bar, the Werewolf Bar, and I just happened to be there, and Art and his daughter are there. So I just basically spent like an entire hour just chatting with them, and in between me doing karaoke. So now Art knows that I can sing Carrie. So it was pretty good. He's a great cheerleader. You just go back and he's like, "Hey man, that was real good. You can sing."
Hey man,
really nice.
I got a song from Art the one time. You guys were doing something and I was watching and he sang it's a Squirrel Girl song. I have it saved.
Oh damn.
I felt special. But you are basically in the hotel the whole time, right? I mean, a lot of people that Mitch brings in, they get rooms there in the casino hotel, and like I know some people who don't leave. They don't go outside, maybe outside for like a breath of fresh air, but they don't leave the casino the entire show. Are you one of those people, or do you actually?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. The very first time I did the show there at the Mohegan Sun, he was on the other side where the ballroom convention hall is on the other side where he used to have it.
Right.
And there was smoking back then in the casinos as well. So they piped in that air and it recycled and stuff like that. So I remember leaving on Sunday and going outside and remembering, I'm like, oh, this is what the sun feels like. Because after 3 days I felt like a vampire. And it was just constant, casino sounds and you just go back and forth to the room, and that's all you do.
Right.
Especially at a show like Mohegan Sun, because everything's so enclosed and contained right there. So we go from the convention hall to dinner to roaming around the casino or hanging out in one of the bars or something, and then going to sleep and getting up and doing the whole thing over again. So it's like one long day instead of 3 days.
And it sounds like it would be the perfect place to hide out in a zombie apocalypse, kind of like Dawn of the Dead at the mall. Just we're going to Mohegan Sun.
Yeah, it's nothing like that mall because I've been at that mall and I've been at a show at that mall. Mohegan Sun's a lot better than that mall.
Good to know.
Well, a lot of people don't know the casino building actually goes down because that used to be actually a nuclear facility.
You're talking about the tunnel?
No. Tunnel's nothing. When they had to get rid of the waste, they had to dig really deep. So when they built the casino, all the offices are underneath the casino, so it goes down.
Cool.
Oh,
when I worked there, I think I was in the 4th level down. I was in marketing.
Like Nest. It was like Nest.
Yep. Yeah. You just got multiple levels down. Some
So not only,
that's the start of a cool comic book story right there.
Yeah. Well, and like the hotel that Drew and I stay at is the Hampton Inn there, and when I told Leo the first year that we did so, he was like, "Oh, you're staying at the haunted hotel." And because it was built over a cemetery, like they moved some of it, but you look out the window and you just see gravestones. You park in the back and you're like 5 feet from a tombstone and stuff. And
Very
so,
yeah.
I didn't warn Drew about it though, so he woke up the first morning and like opened up the blinds and was just like, "Oh." But I looked it up and I was like, haunted hotels, Norwich, Uncasville, and stuff, and it's like all of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your entire area is haunted, and you now have a nuclear casino.
Well, Carrie, you also know across the hotel or across the casino, across the river, is the old psychiatric ward.
I knew it. He was going to say mental institute. I knew it.
Yeah.
Ghost Hunters did a show there.
Of course they did.
And it's like tunnels underneath. They tore down some of it already, but it's still standing. It's extremely haunted over there as well.
I wish I knew all of this before the show because I would have helped you. I would have snuck into Drew's room. We would have helped like carry him outside.
Oh no!
This way he woke
up.
No! It would have been.
Harry,
fun.
Do not tell him her room next to here. I just wake up and I'm like,
Franco. He sleeps
I
so hard we could do it. We could just get
I'll just wake up and I'm just like, and I'm in the cemetery again. And it's like, do I have pants on? Yeah. Oh, thank God.
Again, it's the first time you've woken up in a cemetery.
I've never done that, but that is the funny thing I said to Carrie is like, that's the second time at a convention I've stayed at a hotel that was haunted. The first was my first year going to C2E2.
Well, where did you stay in San Diego?
I was at a Motel 6, so the only thing I had to worry about was menthol smell.
Because there's a couple of hotels right down from the convention center that are definitely haunted, like the Grand Horton and stuff like that. And we
I was at the Ramada, and I heard some weird. I was looking. I'm like, do you hear that? My mate's like, what? We heard like someone's walking up and down the halls.
Oh,
and I'm like,
MJ, you would have laughed at my face when we were in C2E2. It was like 2020 before the COVID really hit. And of course, I had no idea where we were staying because my friend had booked it. And I was like, that's great. And I love the history and everything. Oh, yeah. And then the ghosts. And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
I beg your pardon, what?
I beg your pardon? And they were like, ghosts. You're not afraid of any ghosts, are you? And I'm like, no, I am not.
The next time you have Art on, because I know he was maybe going to be on here with us tonight, but if you ever have him on, ask him about his ghost stories. He's got some interesting.
100%.
Oh, nice.
I can only imagine. The Ramada. Okay.
On that same road where your hotel was, further down, and I know this is extremely dark. This is a little joke my wife and I, I started when we drive.
Oh, Megan humor.
Because Franco, I live in the area. So there's a pizza place that that used to be a funeral home. And,
yes.
Leo, why do you tell me about these things after the con? Like,
No,
can we get food there?
No wonder the pizza is so good.
Yeah. So, well, every time we pass it, I say to Megan,
Leo,
respectfully,
I can't if we ever get pizza there, do not order anything.
Leo, finish your joke.
Yes, I know. Well, anyway, every time we pass it, I say to Megan, it's crazy that that used to be a funeral home, but at least they got to reuse the ovens. It's.
I love that. That's so good.
Every once in a while, buddy, you surprise me.
That's hilarious.
Okay. All right. So moving back on to Franco.
We're half an hour in. Franco, last time I talked to you, we were promoting this, and now I am holding it in my hand. Yeah. And I am so silly because I got it autographed by Jason Mayo when I was at the convention, but I did not actually get you to sign it, even though you brought it there to me and gave it to me there. I'm just like, that would have been a good idea.
But I'll make it up to you. I'll send you another one.
Oh man.
I'll bring it next year. I'm sure I will see you next year. I have to have piles of things to bring, so I have like a bunch of different stuff. Okay. So yeah.
So speaking of that book, okay, that was again, and I've said this about all your work, but it's just adorable. But I will say this one thing, because this is the one thought that lingered with me. A peanut butter jelly and pickle sandwich just sounds like the most disgusting thing in the world. So I can't get that out of my head now. I'm like, that is clearly an alien. Like, gross.
Yeah, there's clues. There's clues there that he's an alien. I tried to think of one of the most disgusting things that you could possibly eat, and I hate pickles with a passion.
Thank you.
Like, they are disgustingly gross. I love cucumbers, but if you take one and pickle it, it's just dead to me. The only thing I feel slightly even more grossed out and grotesque by is raisins. I can't stand raisins. I don't know who decided that you should take a perfectly good fruit, like a grape, and then have it dry out in the sun. And I can imagine the first person that was going by on horseback and was really hungry and said, "Oh, look, a vineyard. I'll stop and get some grapes. Oh, wait, they're all like rotted and on the vine. Oh, I'll eat them anyway." Who does that? It's gross.
Okay, I'm sending that clip to my mom because my mom finds raisins to be offensive.
Yes.
Her term. It's not just like I don't like them. She's like, raisins are offensive. They shouldn't exist. And so
they're important. They shouldn't exist in nature. I'm telling you.
Oh my God, MJ, what you got?
I call it grape jerky. And
you can call it whatever you like and keep them, because I don't want. I want them.
And I also hate olives. All olives. I call them olives, little balls of gross. I hate olives.
I love olive oil. I hate them.
So, no, olive oil's perfect. That's the only thing I want. Everything else can go. I hate olives.
We're finding out about all the things Franco hates to eat.
Yeah.
There you go.
Raisins are really good though when they have sunglasses.
I just said they're gross. And
Leo, stop! Don't be that one person who's like, well,
no,
don't be the devil's advocate.
I was saying raisins are really good when they're wearing sunglasses and Nikes and singing and dancing.
Okay,
I mean,
Leo,
and from California.
Leo, I haven't said this in a while, so I say this with all honesty. Get out. No, don't bring. No, don't. No,
the pillow's over there. I can't reach it.
Yeah, but Franco, you're not a fan of pickles. Is your wife a fan of pickles?
Yeah, yeah, it's gross.
Okay, cool. Because there's that thing. Because I know, because the same thing with me and Ange. Like, I can't stand pickles. She doesn't mind. So there's that. Someone's like, that's the relationship. One person, and I'm like, shut up.
Yeah. Well, there's that opposites attract thing. My wife is very attractive. She's very intelligent. She likes pickles. So all the opposite stuff of me. So.
Dear God.
You like candy corn?
Yeah. Well,
it's fine.
Yeah.
If it's there,
upside down and draw a face on them, they look like Donald Trump. But I digress.
Damn.
It's not a big favorite of mine, but my grandmother used to like it, and like my mom buys it because used to buy it because my grandmother lived with her, and we'd give it to grandma. And like one year we screwed up the bags. We found we accidentally had one that had been stashed from like 2 years before and gave it to grandma, and she's wearing dentures, so she's fine. But she's like, try this, take a bite of this, and it was like, oh God, like breaking all of our teeth as we're doing it. And I'm like, sorry, grandma, like we bought you a fresh bag of it, and we'd get her a little ramekin every day. And yeah, she was just like vengeful. But we like salted nut rolls, and if you take like dried peanuts, the salted dried peanuts or whatever, and you mix in candy corn, it tastes like a salted nut roll if you have a handful of it, like you would trail mix.
No thanks.
Thank you for that fun fact, Carrie.
Okay, how the hell did we? How the hell did we end up on a conversation of food?
It's okay.
We need
so
to talk
because we were talking about peanut butter and jelly pickle sandwiches.
Are you cool with it showing some of the comic? Do we have it ready to go? I mean, it just came out, so I don't know if you want to keep that to yourself or not.
Yeah, sure. You can show.
Also, thank you, Franco, because I've never seen a robotic giraffe, but now I have, so I'm like, well, that's cool.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I also like the spin on the Terminator "Come with me if you want to live" line. I like the spin on that one. That was hilarious. I'm like, I see what you did there.
Well, I try.
He does. He tries.
I like to try doing some of that writing stuff.
Yeah, some of that writing stuff.
Yeah.
But Neil, silly Neil and his adventures.
Mm-hmm. This is such a fun book to read through, though. Like, I love it, and I love how you have the different people standing up for each other. I love how you write for all ages, and you don't treat kids like they're dumb.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Because they're not. I mean, I've learned a long time ago that kids can see right through things, and if you're being disingenuous, they can sniff it out pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
It comes from years of teaching, but also just observation. And I've always enjoyed content that was quote unquote made for kids. It's just some good entertainment, and I grew up on Bugs Bunny, and for me, I've always tried to write on that level. And if you watch Bugs Bunny as a kid, it's very funny when he hits Yosemite Sam with a frying pan in the head. But then, when you pick up on some of the things Bugs Bunny says, you're like, hey, did he say what I thought he just said? And it works, on a very adult level. So that's always the temperament I try to bring to everything I write.
Well, and it's funny because I kind of also look at it like I grew up, watching Pixar, and one of my favorites is always Toy Story, and that there's something for the kids to enjoy, whatnot. But then some of those jokes that you don't catch as a kid, later as an adult, you're like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
The little moments. So I think that's another thing I love about your work is it's entertaining for the kids, but a lot of times if a parent's reading it, there's stuff for them too. It really is.
Yes.
Everybody can enjoy versus like, okay, I would not be reading my kid Sin City. Like, no. I mean, maybe, you never know. But like this, I could easily see getting a copy and reading it to a niece or a nephew as a bedtime story, or just, all right, we're going to give mom and dad a break, so let's read.
Yeah.
With silly voices.
Yeah, I definitely tried to craft the story into something that everybody can read, and it's a fun adventure, and it's very much, the elevator pitch is, if you think about, the Goonies and Star Wars, and you kind of mash it together, and that's kind of what we tried to do, and I think we did a pretty good job.
Oh yeah,
with the story.
I'm incredibly worried at the end though, because Inhaler, and and you left it open. That was something else I liked. That there can definitely be more to this story.
Yeah, I tend to do that with a lot of my stories. I try to end them on a good, everything's wrapped up, but also there's also the possibility of
more.
More. So I don't know if we'll ever do it, but you never know. Never say never.
What? Oh, Leo, can you go back one thing there? Right on the right hand side, this is great. You have who we discover being the alien meal. Like
spoilers.
Doing like, well, I mean, we're kind of flipping through, but being like, we already talked about it. Like, why are you like making yourself as a female seem less than? You shouldn't do that. And I'm really happy that you put that in there. And I like how it was that who it is that was telling about it, that it turns out to be. It was like, that's awesome. That's an observation that they got in the time that they were here. It was just like, boom, that kind of hit more impactfully after you go through it the first time. So thank you for that. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. Yeah, I again, being a writer, you try and think about the audience and who's going to be reading this, and I always approach every book, every single book I do as it might be somebody's first comic book, and I try to incorporate the values that I see, or that I think, or that I feel I should embody or portray. Good and bad, I always joke around with my wife that if the FBI were to ever raid my browser history, it would be like, oh, how do you kill this person, or how do you get away with this murder, or thing, because you gotta play the duality. You gotta play the good side and the bad side. You gotta write the good guy and the bad guy. So I try and compass the whole story to something entertaining, but also that can reflect the person that's going to be reading it.
Mm-hmm. We should probably quit showing off the rest of the book so that people buy it.
MJ or Leo, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask Franco about the book?
Well, actually, in the style, what was your inspiration to this sort of style and this sort of story? Like, what spurred you to tell this sort of story?
Well, this story actually, I wrote several years ago, about 6-7 years ago. I wrote it, and the conversation just started with Jason May because, I write and want to do stories with people that I like, and I like their artwork. And I'm a big fan of Jason May, and he's a really cool guy and a very good friend. And we were talking years and years ago about, maybe doing something. And then I started kind of batting around this idea, and then I started talking to him about what he likes to draw, and he likes to draw skateboards and big spaceships.
Nice, yes.
And then started developing the story, and I kind of hit him with the story, and I said, "What do you think about this?" And he goes, "Oh, it'd be cool if we did this." And I said, "Yeah," and then we could do that, and it just kind of expanded out of there. And like I said, the elevator pitch was, what if we took Goonies and mashed it with Star Wars? What would that look like?
Yes, that would happen.
And that's what we tried to do.
Cool. Very nice.
Nice.
That was a really great read. It had a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I want to know. So you have a mechanized gorilla. There's like a raccoon in there. I think I saw a bee, and obviously the giraffe spaceship. What other crazy, mechanical creatures popped into your head that didn't make it into her?
Not really. Not much, actually. Those were the ones that we kind of thought of, because if you read the story, you find out what happens is one of the pivotal things in the story happens at like one of these, town carnivals, these traveling carnivals, where you go and you play the games and you try and win one of these stuffed animals. So they were all the mechs that you see in here were all based on those stuffed animals. So the giraffe, the giant bee. These were all things that I've seen at these carnivals. So yeah, we didn't really imagine anything too outside the box. The one thing that Jason maybe kind of questioned was because when the Overlord, the bad guy in the book, like he gets obsessed with the look of these Earth animals, and he builds these giant mechs, but they're anatomically correct. So instead of shooting laser beams, they do other things as like number ones and number twos type thing.
Yep.
So yeah. He's like, should we do that? And I'm like, yeah, because I think it's hilarious. So that's what we did.
Well, who knows?
Happens at the zoo, kids.
Yeah. And listen, who knows if you get a sequel, it'll be a mechanized panda.
Oh God.
Skadoosh.
I have some panda stories. I went to the San Diego Zoo once, and I had panda stories, so that would be fun.
Yeah, go. But the all right. Well, I will also say, just kind of change it to the other thing we read, is that I enjoy that you have your, again, I feel like a lot of people know you for your kid-friendly books, but you have a spookier side. You've done, stories that are a little bit more, I want to say like darker, maybe a little bit with a twinge of horror, but kind of like in a whimsical kind of way, like Bailey School Kids. Like Bailey School Kids, kind of goosebumpy in a way, like a little spooky, not like, oh yes, the dark is awful, more like just be careful.
Yeah.
And Dead Man as well.
Yeah, I'm a big horror fan. Not so much of horror movies, although I do like horror movies, but not like the splatter stuff. I'm not a big fan of the splatter stuff. If you give me a good horror film, then I'm locked in. But if it's just gore for gore's sake, yeah. So and one of the things I've always thought about in comics is that you can tell some really good stories. You can tell some really good spooky stories, and what we did with Ghostlight Tales was just gathered a whole bunch of people that I knew and liked, and we got some award-winning prose horror writers that contributed to the book. We have people that won Bram Stoker's awards and really, really great writers. And I said, what if we took these prose stories and a bunch of comic people and we kind of mashed them together, and we came up with this book, the Ghostlight Tales. And one of the stories that I had was like somebody introducing the book, and I didn't want to have like a regular horror host, and we batted around the idea of what we could have as the intro, and we picked a ghost on stage introducing these stories, and then the whole idea of the ghost light came about. And do you guys know what a ghost light is? Or
yeah,
so,
I do.
Yeah, it's the light that they leave on the stage. So one, it's to scare away ghosts, and the other is so you don't trip and fall and break your neck and become a ghost in the dark. So we just wrapped the whole thing around the Ghostlight Tale, and if you look at the cover of the book, it's fashioned after a Broadway playbill. So and people pick that out right away whenever we show the book, with not this, because it's just one of the illustrations of the covers, but if you look at the actual cover, Carrie has it right there. So it's fashioned like a playbill.
Oh, I can show the narrator. Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah.
There is the cover of the book, and then our version of the Crypt Keeper here.
There you go.
It starts off with an intro. I can't really get it to build it. It starts off with an introduction from this lovely gent, welcoming all of the people into the theater, and then going on to the rest of the tales. And I did very much love this because it was such a combination of different things. You have poetry. I would love for us to do a version when we do our next live read of the short little play that was in there.
That'd be fun. I'd love to see that.
I think we like to do live reads and stuff, and that is ready written, ready to go. So
written by Cody, and he's just an amazing writer. He's got a couple of books out, bestsellers, so you should check him out as well. But yeah, he, when we were talking about the idea, he's like, oh, I'll write a play, and then that kind of solidified everything around it as well.
And I wonder how many horrified parents you have sitting around with their children using food dye and oatmeal to like cover themselves before they ask. Because it's fun. There's like, if you can't do zombie makeup, you can use oatmeal and do these things, and it's like it's awesome because it tells you how to put on the play if you're a child, and like you'll need this many friends or this many toys, and little stage directions off to the side, and it's sweet. It's very awesome.
There is a disclaimer in there so that if they do get in trouble with parents, we are not held responsible.
Yeah, good. You got to cover all the bases, Franco. Because there will be that one parent who, for some reason will complain.
Yeah.
And will go to literally buy a ticket at a con just to yell at you. And I'm like, well, that was dumb.
I'll beat him up. I got your back.
Again, it was a fun book to do, and I've been using. I told this to Carrie when we spoke on her segment not too long ago that I'm really using Kickstarter as my laboratory for comics and things that a normal publisher or someone like, say, DC Comics or something like that wouldn't be interested in doing. I was very surprised that they said yes to the Dead Man Tells the Spooky Tales, because I did not think that they would do that. But in terms of books like this, it's so hard because you have so many people involved, and most publishers wouldn't do it. Or something like the next project I'm working on for Kickstarter that it's just never been done before that I've seen anyway. So I'm using it as my laboratory for projects that I want to experiment with and that I've wanted to do for a while.
Yeah, and that's fabulous because, well, like we already talked about, it's great to have a playground. It's great to be able to put out whatever you want, and you are somebody who funds fast. Like it is hard on a lot of people to try to fund anything that's young adult or all ages because people want the booby comics, or the big name things. I don't think some of these people really need to be holding crowdfunding things because they're a giant publishing company and they can afford it on their own. But you fund and you do really good at it.
I'm not funding by big numbers, although I'd like that. If you're out there listening, I'm not pulling down huge numbers in funding, but I am pulling down enough to pay for the project and pay for the people that are contributing to the project and having enough funds left over to print extra to sell at conventions, and so I'm continuously selling the book. And honestly, I prep everything ahead of time, so like everything is done before the Kickstarter even launches. Everything is done. I just sent out the Kickstarter for Extraterrestrials. You got the book last week. Everybody else in the mail was getting it this week. So everything's ready to go as soon as we're done. If I've made enough money on these things where I basically have enough to pay for the project before I even put it up on Kickstarter. So that's why I fund so fast. And I'm thankful and humbled, but not pulling huge numbers, but enough to publish the books.
And I love that. I've been waiting for over 2 years for some of my crowdfunding projects that I've backed. I love that you have everything ready to go. And we talked about it. Sorry. I do a little segment. If you guys who watch the main show don't know, it's Carrie's Crowdfunding Corner, and I get to do creator spotlights. And I've had Franco on just recently for the book that we just showed. But check me out on there. It's fun. But yeah, I just love that you have things ready to go because that's something that I've noticed as I've been going through and doing so many books that it's just like, is this ever going to show up at my house? Is like honestly, I don't know. And I talked to some of the people involved and they're like, we have no idea. It's in that person's hand.
My philosophy is that the waiting should be on my end, not your end. So in the case of Extraterrestrials, the book took about 6 years to do. So rather than you wait 6 years from now to get the book that was just funded, we did it in reverse. We did all the work first, but that takes a commitment. Jason and I aren't getting paid. We're doing this with our own time, and then we crowdfund the book, and hopefully it gets funded. If not, we're taking a gamble, but we're the only ones gambling. You, the fan, should not be the one gambling on it. Like, if you plop down $25 for the book and then you never get the book, that's on me, not you.
Right.
And that's something I didn't ask you before, but you and Jason worked together on it, and it came out with a together thing. Because like if I was to, I don't have any. Well, I have some friends that are artists, but I don't have anybody I could just call up and be like, "Hey, you want to do a whole book together?" And I just don't pay you until later. It's going to be one of those like, yeah, no, not at all. I want to have nothing to do with it. But you're very established, and it's and you have these friends.
But I've had conversations with creators where this is the spiel. Like, you're not going to get paid. You may never get paid. Well, we may not fund the book and you won't get anything. And there have been creators that have said no, and respectfully, I'm good with that. But I'm telling you up front, this is what we're doing. If you're good with that, let's go for a ride. If not, no hard feelings, and we're good.
Right.
That's very cool.
Yeah, there's no wrong answers.
Yeah.
So,
Leo?
Franco, do you feel that Kickstarter is kind of like essentially going to be the quintessential way to just tell stories that you really can't do with some of the bigger publishers? It's just like the next stage in terms of like creators and creativity within the genre?
I do in a way, especially now with all the stuff with AI and the stuff that's happening at some of these comic companies with the way that they're, their page rates and what they're looking to do. And sometimes, you debut a book at some of these companies and you only get 1 or 2 issues out, and then, the sales don't justify it and they cut you off at the knees. It's difficult. It's a difficult market out there. Again, why I'm so pleased and honored and humbled that we've been funded with every project that we've done so far. It's difficult. It's difficult to put together a book and then put it out there. And if you're putting it out there with a publisher, they could just say, no thanks, no more. And then you're done. And then, those rights get tied up and you can't do anything for a certain amount of years. And, you get frustrated as
Right.
a creator. This way, and I have projects that are like that, and some are stuck in those contracts, and I won't be able to touch them for quite a while. But what do? Do I just wallow and complain that, that's the contract I signed? I get it. That's what I'm in for. But on the other hand, I have this outlet, and I have like 5 or 6 projects that I'm working on that will be specifically, crowdfunded, but you're not going to hear about them for maybe a couple of years because, again, we're working on this end. The next one that I have coming up, I'm planning to launch on October 1st, and I have about 10 pages left to draw. So technically, I have until the end of October when the campaign will end to finish that. But if I don't have it finished by the time we launch, I'm not going to launch it. Because even if I'm 1 page away, the entire thing, that's a philosophy that I have. The entire book needs to be done before we launch, because I don't want any, there's enough delays that can happen afterwards, with printing or something else along the way. Like, those are the only delays I want.
Right.
And even then I won't stand for those because the book has to go out within weeks of ending the campaign, or I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
To back up a second, you were talking about some of the issues. You mentioned AI. What are the issues you're seeing with AI in the industry?
Just that there's starting to be some people showing up at convention with AI generated images or prints that they're selling. There's AI comic books that are out there. There's even AI actress, and they want to do an entire movie with this AI actress that they've created. I'm not a big fan of the AI in the arts. I could see some paths with where it could be used usefully, But comic books, I don't think is one of them. And with this next project, my Skelly and Ghost project that I plan to launch in October, one of the things I did was I created photographic backgrounds and I manipulated the images to make them look like comic books, but I didn't use AI. And I was afraid that people would look at it and think that it was AI generated. So, I'm putting a disclaimer in the book telling everybody that, these are photographs I took, and I, manipulated these with Photoshop and other things. But, I took them to some friends, and who are in the industry, who are publishers in the industry and artists, and they're all like, no, you'll be fine. But, it was something that I was worried about because it's something that I don't really think should be a thing in comics, and then I'm going to be putting out a book that kind of looks like maybe it was, and
Right.
It's a little, it's a little iffy about, what are people going to think about it?
Yeah, you can definitely pick out, the like the AI comics and stuff like that online that I see, and they just don't have any heart. It's I don't know. It's just it irks. Sorry, go ahead, Carrie.
Well, I think,
no, you finish, please.
Yeah, Leo, if I can, I think it's also it's things that were once kind of parodies are becoming kind of like the reality. It's kind of like how that movie Idiocracy, we're starting to see more of it, where it's starting to feel like this is a movie or a documentary. It's like that. There was that early 2000s movie, Simone. I remember Al Pacino was in, where it was a fake actress. She wasn't real, but they had to literally create her. They did quote unquote movies with her. They even created like just all these illusions, and it was just a lie that she's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now, like Franco said, like here we are where people want to put AI actresses and record their voices to be used for AI, and it's just like, guys, I don't think you understand. Like, this seems easy now, but this is a slippery slope. And it's kind of like once you get genies out, it's kind of hard to put it back in the bottle.
At some point I'm kind of hoping that the pendulum swings around and people are looking more for realism and real artists and stuff, and not some of the stuff that's being put out. So that's my hope. Anyway.
Agreed. I mean, Franco, it's the same thing. Like Disney back in the day was all hand animation, and then they're like, no, it takes so much time, money. They're like, no, we're gonna do the other stuff. And now the years later, people are like, yeah, can we go back to that? That was awesome. Like, there's a reason that they endure, and but they're like, no, money, and I'm like, you're Disney, you have money, go.
Yeah. But I mean, for someone who's not Disney, it's difficult to do. It's difficult to sit and draw an entire book. Jason spent, he had a full-time job, and he was doing comics professionally on the side. So everything in Extraterrestrials was done on free downtime.
Right.
It took years, and he would apologize sometimes and say, hey, I don't have, I'm like, when it gets done, it gets done. And that's when it'll get put out, So I'm willing to wait for something that's real rather than
a long game.
Generated. Yeah.
The thing that worries me the most about AI is then people getting accused of using AI who aren't.
Yeah.
Because the person who designed my logo, John Crisa, I always mispronounce his name. He was on a recent thing, and somebody, a rather large comic book person, accused him of being all AI generated when he was getting all these things, and he's like, no, and like showing all of his work, like you do, you save it all and you show for things. But he still, even though he showed his work and nobody called out a specific piece, they're like, it looks AI, and somebody's said, yeah, that look, and it's like, well, he's working digital. These are his sketches and how he draws when he does pen on paper and stuff, and this is when he goes digital. It looks different, but it's not AI. And so people are getting accused. It's become a huge, like, how do you tell? Because somebody might be drawing their own stuff, and because AI has stolen their actual artwork to incorporate within itself, it's the same. I'm sure you might have used it when you were a teacher, as far as like scanning people's papers. Like, did this person, like, people have been busted for copying their own work because they wrote in the same voice as themselves because that's who they were. And it's a worrying thing because you can't always tell. I mean, some slop, I guess that's the word for it, is like, oh, look, he has 7 fingers. But
there was a article the other day about the new Doomsday trailer, and they were trying to decipher Doctor Strange's, or no, it was Doctor Doom's.
Dr. Doom.
But trying to decipher the letters on his cloak. And the article, it had this whole graph explaining what it was, and it was actually taking information from the game Doom instead of Doomsday. It was obviously the whole thing was AI slop, but it was a pretty big article that hit.
There you go.
Smart people there. They know how to type a command.
Yep.
I'm sorry, it kills me, but yeah.
It really does. So Franco, since we're kind of coming up on time soon, did anybody else have any other questions that you wanted to add?
I wanted to give him big congratulations again on the Ringo Award nomination for Flash Gordon Adventures 2. So everybody should get out there and check that out. There's a number of very cool people who contributed to that, and rooting for you. I don't know when the Ringo Awards get put out. I know that it's like in the voting process now, right?
Yeah, the award ceremony, I believe, is in late September, and voting is going on right now. So if you are an industry professional, I believe you are allowed to vote. So go to Ringo's .com or the Ringo Awards, search them out, and you can vote.
Awesome, we'll do that. And
well, we can't, but you should if you're a professional.
And are you reading anything right now? I know life's pretty busy.
Yeah, just really, really busy. So I'm cheat reading. I'm listening to the audiobook of Dungeon Crawler Carl right now because
it's not cheating; it's still reading.
Same. I'm doing the same thing.
About it. So on my morning walks when everybody's asleep and I slip out of the house, I put the headphones on and go for about an hour or so. And so
that's awesome.
You know, and comic books here and there, but really just not a lot of time between everything that's happening, personal life, and some of these projects that I'm trying to do, and some of the projects I'm writing for other people. So, yeah, those things.
Word.
What's the big book selling at the store nowadays?
My big book or the book in general selling at the store?
Book, yeah, both.
Yeah. For me, I've had a banner year. Just Extraterrestrials just came out. I had Ghostlight Tales come out. I had Flash Gordon 1 and 2 come out within the span of the year. Chase Speedington with my friend Mike Hardigan from New Zealand, and my good friend Scoot. I did Ninja Kaiju with, and Speed Racer just came out. Speed Racer 2, my second graphic novel, comes out in November.
Nice.
So, yeah, I think Ninja Kaiju's been a big hit with people. Everybody picks that up. It's a fun book. In terms of what's the big seller, you'd have to ask Mark. He's the guy that runs day to day, but I think Absolute Batman's been like an absolute runaway hit at the store.
100%.
Yeah, and yeah. So I can't speak to the real truth to power, which one's the best, but I'd have to gamble on Absolute Batman.
100%.
No,
but all right. So, as we asked before, are you going to any conventions that anybody watching can see you at? And what's the best way to interact with you on social media?
You can search for Franco in comic books, or I'm Oh Yeah Franco on every social media, at Oh Yeah Franco on every social media except for Facebook, where I'm just Franco on Facebook. So you can search for that face on Facebook, and I'll be at New York Comic Con. I think I'm hoping. I'm about 85% sure I'm going to be there. And as of right now, that's the only thing I'm scheduled to be at.
Okay.
Awesome. Sounds good. And Mr. Drew, who do we got next?
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to our YouTube channel so you can follow us. Next week, we have another guest returning. We have the great and extremely enthusiastic Garrett Guns coming back. So we're going to be talking to him about some of his new projects, things to come, and general mayhem. So good stuff.
Awesome. Well, definitely check show notes stuff above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, to follow everybody here and to follow Franco. And head on over to our website, Splash Pages. You'll find a bunch more information there. And with that, we'll catch you guys later.
Thanks for having me.
Bye. Thanks for coming in.